Okay, everyone, hello. For today's lesson, you will be identifying the characteristics of Sumerian epics and identifying the role that these epics, these stories, played on informing us today of the history of the Sumerians. So we'll be doing Sumerian writing achievements. So Sumerian writing. As we've learned already, the Sumerians were the first civilization to develop a system of writing, and that system of writing was called cuneiform. And although that's the name of that system of writing, cuneiform itself means wedge shapes that form syllables, and those syllables form words. So cuneiform, wedge shapes, and wedge shapes, a wedge is like a little triangles, various different little triangles. And so the Sumerians developed these things called epics. Epics are long poems that tell the stories of heroes in their Sumerian society. And oftentimes these heroes were gods or goddesses and the kings that are either legendary or did exist. And even if you're a legendary king, it doesn't necessarily mean that you didn't exist, but there's not definitive proof that you existed. So epics are long poems that are written down by Sumerian scribes, which we've learned already, and they wrote them in the cuneiform writing system, and that means that they wrote them on clay tablets used with a stylus. This is all review, and cuneiform means wedge shapes. And so the most famous and first story that we have of an epic in Sumer, or really in ancient human history, is called the Epic of Gilgamesh. And Gilgamesh is a Sumerian king. And so this is actually this is a photograph of a wedge of a clay tablet that this is the cuneiform wedge shaped right here. Oops, sorry. And so the Epic of Gilgamesh, there's no one author responsible for the Epic of Gilgamesh. In fact, there are many versions and tales about the stories and the things that Gilgamesh did. So what would happen is Sumerian priests may have passed along the stories for generations, which means years and years and decades and a long time. So Sumerian priests may have passed along the stories for generations before they were written down on clay tablets like you see here. This is actually clay tablet that shares the Epic of Gilgamesh on it that we've uncovered. And you'll see that it's broken because it's, pieced together. Okay? And so it was written on clay tablets in the cuneiform wedge-shaped system here by a stylus on wet clay and then hardened under the sun. Most of the story has been translated from 12 broken clay tablets, a couple of which you see right here. And these were found in a royal library that was uncovered in an ancient city of Nineveh in Iraq today. And so only by piecing together the different parts of the story do we have the entire Epic of Gilgamesh. So it was a bit of a puzzle where these pieces literally fit together, and those 12 tablets were discovered and pieced together for the whole story that we have. And so something that you should know, because I'll have you watch a video of this, is a character. Shamash is the god of the sun in ancient Sumer, and he was one of the main three gods in ancient Sumer. Sumerians believed that Shamash, this god of the sun, had all of this power over good and other evil, and he served as the god of justice over the entire universe, and he would determine what was right and what was wrong and what was good and what was evil. So that's some background information that you're going to need for this Epic of Gilgamesh to understand it. So you're going to go to Google Classroom, and under classwork for today, 10.8, under classwork for 10.8, you're going to click the link and view the video explaining the Epic of Gilgamesh. And it's sort of cartoony. It's perfect for middle schoolers. Next, you will answer the questions in the Google Doc about the Epic of Gilgamesh. Reading the actual Epic of Gilgamesh that's been translated into English is very difficult, and I would do this with you if we were live and in person, and I do not want to set you up for confusion and failure on this. So instead you're going to view this short video where a young Sumerian girl is narrating or explaining the Epic of Gilgamesh and telling that story, telling that tale. And it's really neat because this is like the first example of entertainment that the Sumerians had, that ancient humans had in Sumer. And it's really neat because it comes directly from these clay tablets. Picture, this is actual, a human scribe in ancient Sumer 4,000 years ago carved 12 of these tablets when priests were telling that story, and they let it dry. And this is actually the work that someone did. Imagine someone finding your notebook with your notes in it, or with a story that you wrote in 4,000 years from now. That's exactly what you're viewing, and that's why history is so cool. So you're going to go to Google Classroom. Under classwork for 10.8, you're going to view the video where the Epic of Gilgamesh is narrated to you, and then you're going to go to the Google Doc and answer the questions, and we'll talk at the end of class about it. Enjoy!